Hello, welcome to Seadragon's Magic Shop. Today we're going to take a look at turning art into magical function. What I'd like to do is first show you the routine and then how we got there and what we will be using. First and foremost, this will require the use of Frixion pens, also any other art style or art related pencils, color pencils or markers that you would like, your own thoughts and your own art ability, and also basically a deck of cards. What we want to do is we want to get the audience involved. We want to give them something that they can look at and marvel at, something that they can take back as a souvenir, and something that will get your information out to the masses to let them know who you are and what you're about. We will use business cards, a lighter. So basically, let's show you what it looks like when we do the trick. You take a standard deck of cards and you ask the individual to tell you to stop when you reach a certain point. Stop. You flip these cards over, and when you get down to the stack, they'll say stop again. Turn those over, and when you get down to the very first face down card, this will be their card. You will explain that this is just an example of how we're going to do the trick. Flip it back over along with these, put these back under the deck. Now you do it again for real. Go through, they'll say stop, and the same process, stop. This time, when they get down to the face down card, this will be the card that you will want them to have. In this case, the card will be the 5 of clubs. Now, when they've chosen the 5 of clubs, you'll have them look at it. At this point, you can set the deck down, and what you will tell them is that you had made a prediction, and the prediction is on the back of your business card. You ask them what their card was, and they will tell you it was the 5 of clubs. At this point, you turn the prediction card over, and it says your card is the 4 of diamonds. Wow. Looks like I got it wrong. But I tell you what if my card and my helper could change the card into the card that you selected? Would that not be cool? When they say yes, you'll take your lighter out, and with them holding the card or you holding the card, the first thing you'll want to do is remove their card from the sheet. Okay, now that we've removed the selection, I can start over with a clean slate. Can he still help me get to your card? Well, he is holding a bunch of balloons. Let's see what happens when we light some of the balloons up. Here, you now notice that the card that was selected is now the card that is shown inside the balloons, the 5 of clubs. This has a huge effect on audiences. They love this trick. They can't imagine that you not only got their card right, but you made all this stuff appear and disappear. So basically, here's the way this works. You're going to use a business card, or you're going to create an informational card on you, and that will give them the information that they need to contact you or to tell others about you and describe the trick that they saw. On the back side, you have basically a blank slate for whatever artistic designs you would like to do. I love to use themed decks when I perform, and for this one I used the turquoise deck because of balloons, a lighter tone, something that I could do to a teenager or child, family, something that would allow them to respond in a very nice light. What I usually do is I usually will have the jokers in the deck, which I think I put them back in here. There's a joker. Normally the decks come with 2 jokers. This one only came with 1. But inside the card tuck box, I usually have my selection card placed under the jokers or in between the jokers, and these go back into the tuck box. Now in this instance, you can pull out whichever deck you're going to be using for whatever theme that you might be doing. I love, one of my favorite times of year is Halloween, and I love to do theme decks on Halloween. One of the favorites are my voodoo trick, which is basically done the same way. You have a card set up with a deck. In this case, I am using the Bicycles Carnival Earth Tone 9 deck. I love the earth-like tones, the colors, the ability to use this with this type of magic is really fun. Again, you will have the 2 jokers, and in between those will be sandwiched the card you will be using for your trick. Do the force, however, choose whatever force you like to use, as long as you know that the card you're going to be using is going to match the deck and the setup that you have for your force. In this case, you perform the trick and you give them the card to look at. In this case, I have a voodoo doll. This is my assistant, Voodoo Bob. And as you can tell, when you give the card out to them, they will think that the card that you're going to try to pull out of the deck is the 8 of spades. However, this is going to be wrong. You have selected as the force card that you want for them the King of Diamonds. What you do is that you go through the process of the trick, and when they get their card and it is not the one that they selected, you'll say, well, my friend here, Mr. Voodoo Bob, has another unique way of finding your card. You take their hands, put their hands on the card, and tell them to think very hard about the card that they had chosen or the card that they had selected. When they are done, again, use your lighter, and you're going to light the midsection of the voodoo doll. When this happens, the artwork, which is done inside the belly of the voodoo doll, is done in Frixion pens. That Frixion ink will disappear and leave the actual reveal of the King of Diamonds on the belly of the voodoo doll. That will amaze them. Now, how do you get there from here? Basically, it works this way. You can either do each individual card as an individual piece of artwork. If you have a particular piece of artwork that the people tend to really like, you can produce several of them, so you'll have some on standby in case you have to redo the trick over later on. Basically, this is a mock-up of one of the voodoo dolls that I draw out. It's a little bit different than this one, but with this one, it gives you the options of doing several things. What I like to do is I like to put the card reveal here in the stick pins that go into the voodoo doll. This could be a 5, this could be the club symbol or the diamond symbol. And what you're going to do is on the belly, before you color the doll in, that's where you're going to put what you want them to think that you're going to be looking for. An example of this is one that I've already completed. Here you can see that the voodoo doll is now colored in. The reveal will be inside the colored in heads of the pins. Inside the stomach, or on the stomach, looking like it's been stitched onto the doll, is the 7 of diamonds. When you give this card out for them to look at and you do the force, they're going to think you got it wrong because it's going to show the 7 of diamonds here, and they're going to have a different card in their hand. When you tell them that you would like another opportunity to use the voodoo doll to see if you can get the trick corrected, you simply light the heads of the pins to reveal the actual card they are holding. This is a great trick. There are many applications to this. You can use them as I have done for Halloween decks. You can do balloons. You can do all types of things. Anything that you can hide a number under artwork, anything that you're good at drawing. Whatever you would like to put on the back of a card is what you can use. The Frixion pens have come a long way. No longer do you just have to simply write down information on a piece of paper or draw a spade or a spade hidden inside a club. You can now do artwork and use these Frixion pens to cover over that artwork and then reveal when the time is necessary. Hope you found this interesting. I look forward to doing more of these videos. This is my first one, so I hope you like it. Thank you.